Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to talk about one reason a lot of people make a lot less money. And we're gonna get straight into it. You know I don't like to draw things out. A lot of the reasons why people make a lot less money is simply because they stay at a job way too long. Again, they stay at a job way too long. Let me give you an example. I used to work at Dairy Queen. When I first got out the Army, I worked at a Dairy Queen. When I was working at the Dairy Queen, um, I became the general manager. There was a lady who had been working there for 30 years, and she was a manager. She wanted to work Monday through Friday, the early shift, so she would work from like 10 to 5 every single day, 10 to 5. It's a nice shift, right? 10 to 5 was like 7 hours a day, and then you do that for the whole week. It's a nice little shift. You can drop your kids off at school and you can pick them up from after school or wherever it is that they would go. So it's a nice little shift, 10 to 5. Okay, cool. Well, because you don't close, they can say, you know what, that's why we offer this new general manager who just came in more money than you. When I first got out the Army, I'm very, very transparent. I think I was making $20 an hour, but I was working 50 hours a week. So I was always getting an extra 10 hours of overtime. And we all know that 10 hours of overtime is time and a half. So you do the math. I was probably making about 60,000 at that job before anything else. And, with that, I was able to purchase this house that I'm in, actually. So this house that I'm currently in, I was able to purchase with that salary. Of course, I had a heavy down payment that I was afforded through the Army, and working through the Army, as well as stacking that bread that I got while I was working at Dairy Queen, allowed me to purchase this home. So it wasn't just the salary itself, but it was also the money that I stashed away, the car that I had sold prior to going into the Army. There was a lot of money that I had. And when I got a cheaper car, and I was able to kill it. I was able to put 10% down on this house, and I was able to ride that thing out. So I say all that to say, this person who was working there for 30 years, since she was young, I'm talking about, she knows the owner. And the owner, of course, is an owner operated store, so the owner is always in there. And she knew the owner, the owner's been working there since about 14. She's been working there since about 16. Like, but there's no feelings involved when it comes into this business, right? She ain't going nowhere. And in order to make her happy, you just got to grease the wheels, maybe give her a loan, like car about to get repoed, no health insurance for your child, because a small business can't afford health insurance. You understand? So if you have health risks and health problems, how can you effectively work in such a business? Now, couple that with the fact that she had a child, couple that with the fact that she's a single mother, not getting any child support, nothing. How do you survive? So you're telling me, I don't know what she was making, but it wasn't 20 an hour, and she wasn't doing no overtime. So I was making the most money in there, and I had just stepped my foot in the door. And I said, yes, I'm willing to close. Yes, I'm willing to learn. And that was that. So with that being said, a lot of the times hard work isn't valued. Tenure isn't valued. It's availability and sometimes productivity. Can't even really say productivity is valued, because a lot of people would rather prefer that your likability is better than your productivity, and they'll keep you. Now, with that being said, obviously I was in a different position. I was a general manager, she's a manager. But what I really want to get across is the time that you were in. Experience also plays a part. For example, let me just do a hypothetical scenario. If I work a job that pays $1 to $10 an hour, and I get the job, I'm making $9 an hour. My counterparts are making $8 an hour. It's because of my experience, it's the way I articulate myself, is the way I get my point across. They want to pay me more for the same job, for the same service, because they know I will not stay for less. And that's exactly what's happening with this company that I'm working at now. People are making less than I am, who have been there a lot longer. And the same thing would apply to me if I stayed at this job for about 2 years. If I stayed at this job for 2 years at the same salary, I would not be making no money. Okay, but right now, entry, yes, I would say I'm killing it for the first year. But it's an investment that they made in me that I would stay and just take a little 60-cent increase. That's not going to happen. You need to move me. You need to get me promoted. You need to move and shake. You need to move mountain and earth. You need to make sure that I'm getting my money. Okay? All right? So there's absolutely no way I stay in the same position for 2 years and think that that's okay. It's not okay. It's not going to happen. That's not how I'm going to live my life. Absolutely not. Okay? So I need to move and shake things. I need to make sure things are going in the right direction. Things are moving up for me and not stagnant, because there's no way that I'm going to be in the same job for 2 years and think that I'm still balling. Absolutely not. Okay? So I know that. And, I actually heard this from the horse's mouth. One of my coworkers said that, they needed additional pay because they had children and they were coming from a managerial background. And so they were asking for this top tier pay. And during her training, somebody from HR came into the room and said, "We're moving everybody up to her pay amount. Everybody's going to make what she's making." And can you imagine negotiating your salary and then everybody just gets bumped up to the same salary? How do you feel at that point? All that experience, all that hard work that you thought you were doing, the masses are just right with you, and you negotiated that. So you can just tell that the negotiation skills were bad. They were very, very poor. They were not from a place of strength. It was from a place of weakness. Most people who are looking for jobs typically are not looking at jobs from a place of strength. They're typically looking for jobs in a worst case scenario type of situation. And because of that, they don't have any leverage. So they just take what is given to them. There's not really a negotiation that's taking place. As for me, if I'm comfortable at a job, if I'm comfortable with where I'm at, however, if I'm not getting the bank, if I'm not getting that cash OLA that I was earning for, that I was yearning for after a year or two, then it's time to make moves. Because listen, we're not staying stagnant. We're moving and shaking. I don't care if it's a recession. I don't care what type of time we on. I'm on make money time. So a lot of people are not making the money that they're supposed to, even though they have the experience, and it's because they're staying stagnant. They're staying comfortable. And now they're struggling in other areas of their life financially. And because of that, who are you going to blame? Don't blame your employer. Blame yourself. You negotiated your salary. You're not demanding the raises. And so you're going to stay there. And I do feel sorry for the women, because a lot of women don't negotiate rates. They don't negotiate wages often. And men are more ambitious in that regard, that they're going to continue to try and negotiate up more in order to keep them. So again, I do feel sorry for women because they're less combative in that regard, especially when it comes to a job that they like. They want to keep that job. They want to maintain that job. They don't want to ruffle any feathers. And so, it can be very, very difficult to get the number that you actually deserve when you're being passive aggressive all the time. So again, if you like this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You know I post every single day at 8 a.m. daily on YouTube and Rumble, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace.